required harmonized codes and more. My name is Karen Grant and I'll be your instructor today. So the EU shipments require harmonized codes. So anything going to the EU plus 2 other countries are going to require harmonized codes for every single item in a box. And you know at Christmas time, what a headache that can be. And the harmonized code is used for applying duties and taxes. So if you have the wrong harmonized code on there, duties and taxes may be higher or lower if they take your word for it on that harmonized code. It is designed to streamline things and make it easier for customs officials and to make it easier to collect duties and taxes. So number one thing, if you take away from this webinar that you have to do starting, well, so let's say Saturday for outgoing packages on Monday, international. Let's just get used to doing it on all shipments to all places for international. Get detailed descriptions. That way, if you don't have time or can't find the harmonized code, you've given enough description to the carrier that their experts will be able to find it. So the descriptions that we're listing here, those are yesterday's descriptions. You can't use these anymore. Those are gone. So all of those types of things, gone. Don't do it, not going to happen, okay? So here's old descriptions of contents. These are the things we used to do. And I can't emphasize this enough. This is the number one thing, again, that you're supposed to take away from this webinar is having detailed descriptions of contents. So here's kind of the new things. And any time it's clothing, and I didn't do it in all the clothing, or let's say textile, make sure you put new. I'm going to guess, this is just my wild, pull it out of my ear guess. Half of the world will not allow you to send used clothing, and that includes personal effects clothing, so clothing belonging to that person. Half of the world won't allow that into their country. So having the word new on clothing is really important. Now, it's not important for the harmonized code, but it is important for getting through customs. Okay, so having looked at that, what do you need to do? Well, here's my recommendation to you. When possible, get the harmonized code. Now, I know that your customer is undoubtedly, anytime you have a customer that has 10 or 12 things in the box will be the same time you get 3 people lined up behind them and the phone's ringing. It always happens that way. I totally get that. But do your best to get the harmonized codes. We do want the harmonized codes entered on the customs form and not handwritten later because it actually uploads to the carrier. And that's part of the whole purpose of this, is to have everything happen electronically. So it's not something we can set aside and do later. So please try to get the harmonized codes. You will get better at it. It will get quicker. And I'm going to give you some tips. And then some things, if it's just too difficult to find the harmonized codes, make sure you have a super detailed description. So what countries are going to require this? So it is the entirety of the EU, European Union, plus Norway, plus Switzerland. Okay, so it does not include the United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom with Brexit is no longer a part of the EU. Here's what I think though, and I might have this on a slide later, but I'm just going to share it now. I think that we're in for more of this in the future. It would not surprise me if 15 years from now, we have to do this to every country in the world. It would not surprise me in 5 years if we have to do this for much of the world. So we'll see how this progresses. And I know this is not something you signed up for when you got your store, because this is really, and you have to go through the questions of what if I get the wrong harmonized code type thing. So we're going to talk a little about that. So these are the countries. And then I want to talk about some other topics before we go and look at some harmonized codes. So some other topics that have hit us recently. This happened about a month ago. Many of you have called into our support. We get bombed with 2 or 3 of these calls a day because Indicia didn't let us know, and the post office didn't let us know. But you've had customers that you've sent to England or Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland for many years, and everything's in the database, and they ship it regularly, and all of a sudden you don't get any post office rates for going to England or those locations. There was a change made by the USPS, and Indicia had to follow it, and you have to change the country to the United Kingdom now. So it's officially the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So we're going to do just a bit of a geography lesson for those who are not geography experts. And this country right here, this area right here is Ireland. That whole island is Ireland. However, only the Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. Okay, just that area there. The southern part, the lighter blue part, is called the Republic of Ireland, and it's a completely different country, not related to the UK. If you say that somebody in the Republic of Ireland is part of the UK, they will get really, really mad at you. By the way, if you say somebody from Northern Ireland is from the UK, they'll get mad at you too, but it's still true. They just don't want to be part of the UK. So politics, politics, politics. So just understand that, and please understand that Ireland is two countries, one part of the UK, Northern Ireland, and the southern part is the Republic of Ireland. So please be careful with that because it changes how things are. Republic of Ireland is part of the EU. Northern Ireland is part of the UK and not part of the EU. Oh, will this ever end? Okay. So we're going to review a couple of other things very quickly. So if you need more information on these other things, you're going to have to go watch the previous webinars because I'm not going to make everybody suffer through all of it. Just again, a reminder for Ear99 classification. This is when you are sending to China, Hong Kong, Russia, and Venezuela. If it's technology, it might be on the controlled list, and you probably should check with the carrier to see if you can send it and what you need to send it. If it's non-technology related, then you need to put in parentheses, EAR, ear, like your ear, 99, end parenthesis, on each line so of the item so that the customs officials know that this is not a controlled item. So this is a United States thing done to prohibit our technology and intellectual property from improperly entering those countries. So, I'm imagining if you were trying to do that illegally, that you would tell the truth on this form, right? Okay. Another story. All right, the other refresher we're going to have, there was a VAT, or that's value added tax, so it's a sales tax for the UK change, and it doesn't really affect our stores in 99.9% of the cases. So the rule on this real quickly is if your customer is selling something, so it's not a gift, they're selling something to somebody in the UK, maybe auto brakes for a Subaru, brake pads or whatever, then, and let's say the value is $80, that seller has to collect the VAT or sales tax for the UK. They have to get an account with the UK sales tax authorities, and they have to pay that sales tax. This is not a function of your store, and you don't do it. The only time your store would do that is if you happen to be a store that had a gift shop or some other part retail area, and you sold something to a customer in the UK, then you would have to collect that sales tax or VAT tax and file it with the UK. That almost never happens, but you know, weird things. I just need to make it very clear. Finding a harmonized code is right here. That's the button, magic button you press. It's always been there as long as I can remember. And that's the button you're going to press to find the harmonized code. Now, once you get the harmonized code, you're going to enter it right up here on the harmonized code line. And then what does it look like when you press that Find Harmonized Code button? It takes you to this website. Notice it's from the United States Census Bureau. And that's where we're going to go next. I'm going to take us right out of Postalmate, and I've already got our customs form filled out here so that you can see where, and these are the things we're going to look up because I figure these are kind of similar to things you would send, right? So we're going to do the first one. We're going to do men's blue jeans, and we're going to click on Find Harmonized Code, and it brings up the ugly website. So we're going to put in, and I'm sorry, I typed so horribly here. Men's blue jeans. Okay, and then we're going to classify. And the more information or more detailed information you have up here, usually, not always, but usually the easier it is to find your item. So we're going to click classify. So it's going to want to know, okay, well, what's it made out of? Well, these are men's jeans that are for a man with a growing waist. So let's say it's 95% cotton and 5% spandex, right? Okay, accept. Now, men's or boys or trousers? Yeah, we know it's men's. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Well, of cotton, not completely. Let's click the plus sign, right? That's what I taught you. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. 15 down? No, there's no down in my, who gets down jeans, right? So it gets a little weird here, but we have another plus sign. Plus. Bib and brace overalls. No, it's not farmer jeans. Trousers and breeches. Okay, well, there's a plus sign. Let's click it. Oh, look, blue denim right here. That's what we're looking for. So now now you can copy and paste. If you don't know how to copy and paste, you're going to have to learn. You highlight it and click Control C, or you right click and copy, whichever you like to do. And then you take it over to Postalmate and you enter it, and you can make sure your cursor's there, and you do Control V, well, or paste. You have to actually get rid of the blue. You have to have the cursor flashing. Oops, and I hit it twice. Well, that was dumb. Yeah, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, 1 down, 3 to go. You can see you are going to be earning your international money right now, right? So let's go do alarm clock. All right, we're back here, alarm clock. Okay, well, it doesn't have a radio in it, so just alarm clock. Classify. Watch movement. Now, here's a really interesting thing. It has this asterisk here. You see that dark blue asterisk. When you hover over that, it's going to give you some details. And in this case, it's telling you, is this like a watch movement that has, you know, the Swiss movements where you have the little gears turning and all those cool things? No, this is just a dumb alarm clock. Okay, so then it's other. Is it electric? Well, yes, it runs on batteries, but batteries are electric, so I'm going to say yes. Oh, and look, there it is. So that was pretty easy. We didn't have to go plus, 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 plus. So there we go. Now, I want you to notice that the last 4 digits are all zeros. That's because this really is a pretty easy classification. And having the last 4, if you only can get 6 digits for some reason, just make the last 4 digits all zeros. Okay, so that's kind of how we do, and then we just go forward.
Yes, there is. All right. Well, man, thank you again, Leo, man. Shoot, I appreciate it, man. I had a lot of
Yeah.
good time.